Hi, today from Black Forest. Today I will tell you about my strongest drive in the second part of this series about motivation, about drive. I will tell you what in the world makes me do things that I don't like to do. See you in the next part. The strongest driver. Do you know what self-efficacy is? Self-efficacy is the notion that you are able to execute on the plans, on the decisions that you set up for yourself. I will give you an example. Let's say you decide today that you will get up tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning and will go for a jog, will go for a run, doesn't matter what, no matter what. Then the next day, 5:30, your alarm clock rings, you get up, but you look outside and see there is rain, maybe there is, shitty snow, and there is so cold, and under your sheets it's so warm, and you just don't feel like going out and exercising and running in this shitty weather. This means low self-efficacy. High self-efficacy would mean you would get up and doesn't matter what happens outside, whatever happens, you just execute on your plan, on your decisions from previous time periods, no matter what happens, you just pull this off. This is self-efficacy. So how to achieve self-efficacy, how to motivate yourself in order to do things that you don't feel like doing at the moment, but you know in the long term you should do them and you have decided previously to do them, and these things are part of your plan. So how to make yourself execute on your plans that sometimes are hard to execute and you don't feel like executing on them, you don't feel like doing these things just today, you would like to procrastinate, to put them off for later, or maybe just to quit altogether. What is the best method, the best driver that I use in order to motivate myself to do these things? And the secret is a big goal. If you have a big, hairy, outrageous goal that you have set yourself to do, such a big goal that you are proud when you achieve it, it will be just, maybe it is even considered impossible by others to achieve. Maybe you have considered it to be impossible for you to achieve previously, and you are on the way to achieving this goal. Then you have limitless motivation. Then it doesn't matter what it takes, you will execute on that, because you just think to yourself, man, if I can achieve that, if you can imagine yourself achieving that goal and saying, wow, I would be the guy who achieved that goal, who made it possible, who made it real, then it is just unbelievable motivation for you. It gives you limitless drive and the power to execute on every challenge and difficulty, and doesn't matter what happens, you will do what it takes to achieve that goal. I will give you an example. Let's say you would like to lose 5 pounds, or let's say 5 kilos, 10 pounds of your body weight, and in order for that you would need to get up at 5:30 because this is maybe the only time you can exercise, then you have to work and so on and so on, but you would need to get up at 5:30 and go for a training, for a run, for a jog, in order to lose your weight in the long term, in the middle term. Is this motivation enough to get you up at 5:30? For most people it's just not enough. The goal isn't just big enough that would justify this effort and motivates you to get up so early and take every inconvenience that you have to take. Most people just wouldn't execute on that or give up sooner or later. But if you have a goal like I had several years ago, let's say to run an ultra marathon, 111 kilometers through the Sahara Desert in one piece. This was such a big, hairy goal, and people around me considered it impossible to achieve for them and extremely hard to achieve for me. Some people would even say I would die there in the desert. I would never be able to run to finish this challenge, to finish this ultra marathon. I had a plan that I needed to work out to go for training almost every day for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 kilometers, depending on the phase of the training, on the day. But I needed to get up at 5:30, and even in the strongest winter, in the coldest winter, in snowstorm, in rain, I would be exercising. And there was no difficulty whatsoever for me to get up at 5:30, to put on the shoes, the training clothes, and the sport gear, and to go out and run. Why? Because I could see that big goal. I could see myself achieving that unbelievable, that impossible goal. I could see myself on the finish line of this ultra marathon, 111 kilometers in one piece through the Sahara Desert. And it was such a strong driver, such a strong trigger, such a strong motivation that I didn't have any difficulty whatsoever to get up and run. And I remember times when I would go out for a training and it was a snowstorm, windy, wet, snow, and it was so unpleasant. The weather was so unpleasant that there was not a single person on the street. And I would see a guy trying to walk his dog for a walk, to take him out from his home, from his house, and walk him around. And this dog was literally scolding. He just didn't want to go to leave the house. Can you imagine a dog that wouldn't want to leave the house because the weather was so shitty? So there is a saying, it was raining dogs, but in that situation it wasn't even raining dogs, because even dogs weren't able to take this weather. And for me, it was just easy to go out for this training. Or I could remember taking training like when people were celebrating New Year's Eve at midnight, and I would put on my sports gear and go for a training, for a 10-kilometer run with a headlight, because I had to do my training on that day as well. So this is my little secret for you. How do you achieve motivation for things that at the moment feel unpleasant, that at the moment you don't feel like doing? Set yourself big, hairy, outrageous goals, and they will solve your problem. They will make you put unbelievable effort in achieving this goal without you feeling uncomfortable. You don't feel like doing these things. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here about doing big, impossible things. How to do extremely difficult things that other people consider impossible, or maybe you consider impossible to achieve for you. I talk here also about entrepreneurship, about how the best entrepreneurs in the world think and act, about self-made billionaires that I have met and interviewed, that I befriended, and I talk here about their thought patterns, their action strategies, and I talk also about money, about economy. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.